Okay, so it seems like recently there's been some pretty interesting news going on with VTubers in general, and a game that you guys probably know being Fortnite. Now, this has been some huge news recently as, Fortnite have essentially got some plans to release a Kizuna AI VTuber skin to the game, which is something that I'd never thought I'd really be covering on this channel, I'm going to be honest. But again, obviously, if you guys don't know, Fortnite have been doing a lot of different skins and stuff related to a lot of, current things. For example, current, IPs and stuff. A lot of anime have been included in there. And also a lot of YouTubers and things too have also been added to Fortnite. Like recently, iShowSpeed got added. And it seems like they've started to care a little bit less about like potentially, brand damaging kind of deals and stuff, and have now just like focused on pumping out essentially any kind of skin they can think of that will obviously please a lot of people in the community, which honestly I think is actually pretty great, right? Because we know that a lot of companies refuse to do skins of people like YouTubers and VTubers and streamers and whatever due to the fact of, what if they get in a future controversy or something like that, right? Obviously that could be a kind of problem because they would have a skin up of them and it could all go bad. Like, imagine if iShowSpeed got into some controversy later down the line, it wouldn't end up very good for the company itself. But I think they don't care about that anymore, and it seems like obviously we're getting a VTuber model or a VTuber kind of collaboration with Kizuna AI. Now, if you don't know who Kizuna AI is regarded as one of the first modern VTubers. Now, obviously, some people argue that there are some before and things like that, but again, she was the one who kind of started it all up, and everybody were the first popular one, I'd say, at least. Obviously, she was away for quite a while. She started back 9 years ago, and she has actually come back recently, doing one-off things every now and again. It's not exactly the most, I don't think it's the most, consistent thing like she used to be. But I do think, obviously, she's still around and doing stuff, which I think is really, really cool. Now, again, this is very, very interesting because it does open up the door to a lot of future collaborations as well. Because, yes, maybe you might not be the biggest Kizuna AI fan now because obviously it is quite, outdated. Although, a lot of people won't really like that. Some people are still big fans of Kizuna AI, which I think is great. Also, just to kind of add in here, the actual specifics of the Kizuna AI skin being added, it seems like she's going to be getting 2 skins and also has a Lego style one as well, 2 back blings, 2 instruments, and a loading screen. So again, they're actually packing this full. They're not just like releasing one skin, forgetting about it, and just being like, there you go. This seems to be like a full package. So again, that is something to be very excited for, and hopefully they do more of this because again, it seems like they've got a ton of cosmetics, a ton of different interesting ideas added to this, and it could be very, very exciting, to see. But some people have been asking the question, what if we get other VTubers on board as well? And I think that is totally, a question to be asked from Fortnite, because if they can do it with Kizuna AI, well, they could do it with a ton of other VTubers as well, which I think would be really cool. For example, like this post here saying Kizuna AI will be joining will be our first VTuber joining Fortnite. She was the first online entertainer to gain popularity with the virtual YouTuber name back in 2016. Would you like to see other VTubers join Fortnite? Obviously, they put a couple pictures up as some kind of ideas or examples of who could be added to Fortnite. And obviously, you've got people like Collab and obviously the whole of Hololive. That would actually be pretty sick. And, I wouldn't be surprised if Hololive were to do some official collaboration with, with Fortnite. And again, I think it would probably be easier and it would probably be more likely to see something of an agency type more than an indie type. Now, obviously, there is still going to be a huge idea of potentially having some indie VTubers actually feature in the game. But I think obviously with the brand recognition of Hololive and stuff, I think, Fortnite will be much more enticed to go, for some people like Collab, all of the other Hololive members who, would want to be involved with this, right? They could also get some sponsored streams and things. And again, it is just pretty cool. Obviously, you've got Dokibird as well, well known for, being a pretty, good gamer in terms of stuff like, Marvel Rivals and stuff. So again, I think obviously that would be great. People would really enjoy that too. The same goes for Pakura as well. Obviously, another Hololive, that would be really, really sick to see. And also as well, we've got Ironmouse too, obviously one of the biggest English-speaking VTubers out there, right? So again, I think all of these ideas would be great, and there's so many other VTubers too. Like, don't get me wrong, these aren't the only ones that I want on here. But again, I think it is a really cool idea to think of because obviously they've essentially just taken their first step. Now, this comes from a Fortnite like news site, whatever you want to call it. But usually, like pretty much every single time they get it bang on, right? Not every single time, but most times they get it bang on in terms of this collab actually happening. And obviously it's gotten a ton of people super excited to see, you know, Kizuna AI in the game, and super excited for what collabs we could see with VTubers in the future. And I think that is really Fortnite's big plan with this, is that they want to kind of capture a bit of every single community within their game, right? Because, you know, some people like anime, some people like VTubers, some people like Marvel or whatever other collaborations they've done, right? And it allows everybody to play the same game, but also, you know, being able to, you know, have some of their own hobbies and interests included into Fortnite as well, which I think pretty cool, right? I think that's a pretty good strategy. I think that is a good way for them to promote the game to new people, because, you know, Fortnite isn't exactly, oh, well, I don't know, actually, I've never looked at the stats, but I feel like it's not exactly at the height that it was, you know, whenever it was like literally everywhere, but it's still a massive game, and they've managed to maintain that by obviously, yeah, going into different and tapping into different communities. For example, like the VTubing community, like certain anime communities as well. For example, like I think they did One Punch Man, I think that was one time. But again, they've done so many other ones. I think they did JJK as well. So again, they've tapped into these different communities that obviously they will have a couple of people in there that go, oh, I might pick up the game, get the skin. And even if they don't stick around, they probably will buy the skin, right? They'll probably buy the skin and just decide to, you know, play it maybe for a couple of games. And even if they do quit, they've just made a ton of money there, right? And I think it is actually like really smart strategy from them, and it's very obvious what they're doing. So I hope that they can see, and obviously it seems like they've got someone on their team that is familiar with VTubers and things, getting Kizuna AI on board. So hopefully that person, whoever it is, can get them on board with some of these other kind of suggestions that people have been putting, right? People saying, after Typical Gamer, of course, I'd love to see more VTubers. Saying, you know, innovation, blending worlds, Kizuna AI opens more doors. More VTubers could level up the fun for gamers. The Kizuna AI go-to say yes. People said Suisse, they want that to be in there. Saying, still one of my goals to happen. Then Mori said, I mean, when you include the war criminal rabbit Picoro herself, how could I say no? And again, exactly, like this is exactly what is going to happen, right? VTuber fans, if they did, you know, more collaborations like this, and obviously Kizuna AI is still huge, but say if they got a Hololive collaboration, I think that would be insane. I think like the amount of VTuber fans that would go and play Fortnite, and VTubers themselves that would go and play Fortnite over this, would be absolutely insane. And sure, maybe it would be a short rush and maybe it would only be temporary, but I do think obviously it would be a benefit to Fortnite and also to the VTubing community as well. I think also it will get people interested, because people who don't really know what this is about, they might go look them up or whatever, and maybe, you know, watch a video or two and get involved. I think that's obviously pretty cool. And yeah, obviously it is just nice to see these collaborations happen, because we've seen a couple of game collaborations happen in the past as well with a lot of VTubers, and you know, that has turned out really well for them. Like for example, I think a lot of VTuber fans actually spiked Smite 2 the skins on there, because they did a VShojo collab. I know obviously VShojo is at the state where it's at right now, but back whenever they were, you know, obviously not crumbling, they did a collaboration where they had a ton of VTuber skins on there, and I'm pretty sure they spiked some of the player counts, because obviously people were interested and wanted to see their VTuber, you know, involved in the game and actually as a skin. So I think it would be cool, right? I think it would be cool, and obviously we're gonna have to wait and see if there's any more kind of news on any other VTubers coming out. But I think obviously the news of Kizuna AI being added is a really good step forward. And with the rate that Fortnite has been going, for example, you can see here, right? They got Kizuna AI, and they've been talking about the fact that like there's going to be like a regular show and other stuff like this, and Adventure Time collab or whatever. So again, they're literally collabing with everybody and anyone that is like kind of popular or whatever, or has some kind of fan base, right? So I think there is a very good chance that we could see it. And obviously they say this is a VTuber icon skin, so maybe they're going to class these as VTuber icon skins and have other VTubers in there as well. I don't know, maybe it's just this one, but I hope that it is more, because again, that would be really cool, and obviously it would be really nice to see a lot of the you know, involved kind of VTubers in with gaming and things like that, especially people like Dokibird, right? I think that would be such a huge moment for her, and also for a lot of other people as well, even like Ironmouse and stuff. I think that would be really sick to see, and I could already imagine the streams that would take place if they were added to Fortnite. Like, that would be absolutely insane. But hey, maybe there's something going on behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure I did hear Ironmouse say that she was working on something big. Again, I'm not saying that it is that, but you know, she is working on something. Maybe it is Fortnite, you never know. But also there's, you know, there's so many other things that she could be involved with too. But, you know, it would be pretty huge for VTubers. and pretty huge for the community in general, and pretty huge for Fortnite too, to have a ton of players coming over there. And I did think this is some pretty big news just to kind of share with you guys, right? But yeah, that's essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what VTuber you want to see added to Fortnite. I never thought I'd ever be saying that. I never thought I'd ever be saying that in a video, but what VTuber do you want added to Fortnite? So yeah, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.